basics of XML, saying that XML is strictly typed, XML tags are paid tags, XML tag attributes must be quoted. Once a root tag is closed, we cannot place much content in XML like this. N number of things we said are not. Okay, but I want to see multiple programmers, multiple people using same tag, same attribute, same structure while constructing their XML data. Then I need to supply what guys? Rules for them. What kind of rules guys? Either DTD rules or XSD rules. That means rules can be prepared either by using DTD technique or XSD technique. DTD means document type definition. XSD means XML schema definition. Are you understanding my statement guys? Come on. DTD means document type definition. What is latest and which is doing well? XSD is doing well. Okay, guys. Now tell me, Spring Framework is giving a lot of XSD rules, guys. Come on. Okay. And we need to import them in Spring Bean configuration file so that we can give instruction to Spring container in the format that is understandable to Spring, guys. In the format that is understandable to Spring. Otherwise, every developer uses his own tags, and it's practically impossible for Spring container applying meaning for yours for user defined tags, guys. Right, boss. If XML document is satisfying basic XML syntax rules, then it is called well-formed XML document. No, if XML document is also satisfying the imported DTD or XSD rules, then it is called valid XML document. Is that clear, guys? Right. Okay, guys. In XSD, there is a concept called XML schema namespaces. XML schema namespace is a library that contains set of tags and attributes. Set of tags and attributes and the rules to use them, structure to use them, guys. But every XSD is identified with its what? URI. URI is like name kind of lengthy URI or URL. If you want to use certain XML schema namespace in our what? XML file, we need to import the URI. We need to import the URI. Got the point, my dear guys? Okay. It's what are the important XSD namespaces that is provided by Spring for the developers? Beans. Okay, identified with what? XSD file and a URI containing beans. URI containing beans. Do I need to arrange these XSD files separately? No. Whatever jars we add in those jars, these XSD files will be there automatically. Context, JWE, MVC. In fact, for every module, one, two namespaces they have provided, guys. How to import, guys? So much syntax is there. Don't worry. In the root tag beans, if you want to work with the beans namespace UI and beans namespace XSD file. If you want to work with the beans namespace and XSD namespace, beans namespace, it's XSD file. Context namespace URI and it's XSD file. Like this, we have to go for import operation. Okay, guys. Now listen. In Friday's class or Thursday's class, we have seen how to develop target class and dependent class. Which message my generator is my target class. Okay, date is my dependent class. Then we have seen how to develop Spring Bean configuration file. Later we have seen basics of XML and how to import XSD rules to that Spring Bean configuration file. Okay, now time has come to activate, to create one Spring container, to create one one Spring container by giving Spring Bean configuration file as what? Input file, and asking Spring container to perform Spring Bean management. I mean, it's a life cycle management and setter injection based on the instruction that are there in Spring Bean configuration file. Yes or no? So time has come to develop the client application. Okay, to make it as a single document, guys, I am saying save as, dates are changing. Hope you are realizing it. Okay, right, boss. Client application development. Client application development. Here we create. Here we create Spring container. Spring container. Initially, we start with the bean factory, guys. Initially, we start with the bean factory. Come on. By giving Spring Bean configuration file, XML file, as the input value. And we ask, okay, we ask Spring container. We ask the Spring container to perform Spring Beans life cycle management and Spring Beans life cycle management and setter injection. Setter injection, nothing but dependency injection. Dependency injection. Dependency injection mode. Dependency management. Yes, na boss. Okay, guys. Right, guys. Spring container is called. Spring container is a lightweight container. What guys? Lightweight container. Because it can be created anywhere. It can be created anywhere by just creating object for the given class. By just creating object for the given class. To create Spring container. Okay. XML bean factory. Factory is equal. Achha, listen guys. Okay. To create Spring bean factory container. To create bean factory Spring container. Okay. Container. Create object for Java class that implements okay bean factory interface. In fact, bean factory is interface, guys, that implements bean factory interface. That's it. That much simple it is. You try to know what are the implementation classes for bean factory interface, pick up one implementation class and create object for it. Come on. Okay, if you want to know anything about any class, you just type that class name or interface name having word docs. You will get the story, guys. Interface bean factory. Implementing this interface, these many classes are there. But most popularly used class is what? XML web application, sorry, XML bean factory. That's the one thing. And another thing is default listable bean factory. These two are quite popularly used. XML bean factory is deprecated. As alternate, people are using default listable bean factory. But initial few days I will use XML bean factory. But very soon I will be moved to what? I will be moving to default listable bin factory. In fact, working with XML bin factory is quite easy, boss, but it's deprecated because of some reason. We will see those reasons while launching a default listable bin factory. Okay, this is the class, guys. Sir, it is not implementing. Now see the hierarchy, Rabab. Hierarchy, hierarchy, hierarchy. Abstract bin factory is there, na? Abstract bin factory is there. That is implementing bin factory interface or not? That is implementing bin factory interface or not? Come on, guys. Okay. Abstract bin factory, extend this one. Implement what? Configurable bin factory. Configurable bin factory. Okay, is implementing, extending from what? Hierarchical bin factory. Hierarchical bin factory is extending from what? Bin factory. Directly or indirectly, it is implementing what? Bin factory interface. Agree with me, guys? Okay, guys. Though there are multiple implementation classes for bin factory interface. Okay, quite popularly, quite regularly used implementation classes for bin factory interface are of bin factory interface are, tell me, number one, XML bin factory, guys. Number two, default listable bin default listable bin factory. Got it, nice? Okay. Second, this is deprecated. Deprecated means any movement they remove, guys. Okay. Better alternate. What is that? Better alternate. But for few days we will work with this only. Okay. Where is this XML bin factory, guys? XML bin factory. I would like to give hierarchy to you people, my dears. That's why I will take this, I will paste here. Just a minute, we will adjust as needed. Okay, guys. Two times been mentioned, guys. Examacha, fine. XML bin factory. With the paintbrush rub, anything can be done. Hmm. Yes, Modi. Okay. Abstract bin factory. Now you get the abstract bin factory story, guys. Actually, if you go to Eclipse, you can get hierarchy in another way also. Okay, where is abstract bin factory? Come on. Abstract bin factory is extending from configurable bin factory, right? Okay, now here is my configurable bin factory. Yes, boss. A very bigger one is coming, Rababu. Very bigger one is coming. Configurable factory. I want this kind of font. Okay. Array factory means okay, Factory means a killer one, the, the one that can create something. That's it. Since it is able to create container kind of thing, they have used the terminology called factory. Don't think much on it. Okay. Okay, boss. Wait a minute. I'm trying to give complete hierarchy. Yes, I know that. Okay. Configurable bin factory, guys. Configurable bin factory. Next. No, no, I can take screenshot also. Wait, boss. Okay. Configurable bin factory. Then we got hierarchical bin factory. Hierarchical bin factory. Okay. Then we got bin factory. Here is the bin factory. Here is the bin factory. Okay, guys. Interface, interface, interface. I think abstract bin factory is a class, right? Class AC. Abstract class, guys. Abstract. This is also AC. Abstract class. Default listable bin factory class, guys. XML bin factory, what, guys? Class. Okay. Right, boss. Yes. What's the relationship, guys? What's the relationship? Extends. Again, what's the relationship? Extends. Here, what is there? Implements. Here, what's the relationship? Extends. Here, extend. Here, extends. Okay, boss. Now listen. Sample code. Sample code to create bin factory container using XML bin factory class. XML bin factory class. Okay, now listen, guys. First of all, to locate the Spring Bean configuration file, guys. Okay. Hold, hold Spring Bean configuration file. You need to hold Spring Bean configuration file. Now listen carefully. Both Spring Bean configuration file, guys. Now listen carefully. Yeah. Interesting fact, XML factory is the subclass of default listable factory. It came, used for a few days, people realized it bad, and they realized old is good. They realized old is good. That's a very interesting thing, right? Initially, people started using it. They found some problem. Then they realized it's a super class which is released before XML bin factory code. Sometimes it happens or not. Okay, guys. Now listen. hold Spring Bean configuration file name, location. Okay, boss. Now listen carefully. File system resource res is equal to new file system resource of some path application context dot x. Array, don't think much ra babu, don't think much. It internally uses, come on, it internally uses java.io dot file class. Java.io dot file class. Okay. To hold the name and location of the Spring Bean configuration file. Is that clear, my dear? Come on, are you listening my statement, guys? Array, it internally uses, boss, it internally uses. This is path. Okay. Spring Bean configuration file. Next, create bean factory container. Spring container. Create a bean factory container. Listen carefully. XML bean factory. Factory is equal to new XML bean factory of RES. Come on. What is this RES, boss? Indirectly Spring Bean configuration file name and location we are passing or not? Whatever Spring Bean configuration file name we have taken, that we are passing here or not? Don't you think with 2 lines of code our Spring container is ready? Don't you think it is a lightweight code? Spring containers are lightweight. What do you say, guys? So definitely Spring containers are lightweight, right now, boss? Okay. Now Spring container is ready, boss. It is having XML file as the Spring Bean configuration file. How to ask Spring container? Hey container, I know you are capable of creating object, managing object, injecting object, destroying object. Can you give me certain class object, certain Spring Bean class object? I have to ask or not? Okay. Getting. Oh, okay. Array, whatever location you have to pass here. That's why I have said dot dot dot. Okay, now fine. Getting Spring Bean class object from Spring container. How to get Spring Bean class object from Spring container? Okay, sir. Why it is named as factory? It's a factory that is capable of creating and managing Spring Bean class objects or not? That's why it is called what? Factory. Bean factory. Maintaining Spring Beans. Factory to create and release. To create and supply. Okay, Spring Bean class object. That's why it is named as Bean factory. Clear, guys? Okay. Yeah, one design pattern is involved. I'll explain that later. Factory is also one design pattern. But right now you try to say why it is named as Bean factory. Because it is a factory that is capable of creating, managing, supplying Spring Bean class object whenever you need it, right? Sir, how to ask these containers, sir? Array, we have a one ready-made method, predefined method called getBean method, where you need to pass bean ID. Listen carefully. Factory dot get bean. What is the bean ID, guys? WMG. It's a predefined method, guys. Later, look at this. In this Spring Bean configuration file, we have a bean ID WMG or not? We have a bean ID WMG or not? Come on, my dear. Okay, array, array. If if you want to go to, if by going to bank, if you want to withdraw money from account, you will submit account number. While flying to other countries, you will submit passport number. Yes or no, na? Okay. In India, if you want to avail any government schemes and services, you'll try to submit Aadhaar number. Yes or no, na, boss? And Spring Bean is identified with its Bean ID, right? If you want to ask, hey, container, if object is already created, give me object. If not created, create and give me object of certain Bean class. How to ask? By passing Bean ID only, na, boss? By passing Bean ID only, na? Yeah, that Bean ID I have passed. That Bean ID I have passed here. Okay. Yeah, it returns given Spring Bean class object in the form of object class object, guys. Why? As a return type of this get bean method is object boss. Any Spring Bean class object, it will give as what? Object class reference only. Why? I may pass bean ID, y bean ID, z bean ID belonging to different classes. So it has to give as a generic object only, na? It has to give in a generic manner, right, na, boss? It has to give in a generic manner. What do you say, boss? So the return type of factory get bean method is what? Object. But one problem is there. When object class reference variable is referring to one of its subclass object, using that reference variable, can you call can you call direct methods of the subclass, guys? Superclass reference variable is referring subclass object. Using that reference variable, can you call direct methods of the subclass, guys? But I want to call. Then what should I do? Downcasting or typecasting is required or not required? Downcasting or subcasting is required or not required? Core Java required, ra babu. Core Java required here. Right, boss. Uh, so definitely typecasting is required. So I am doing typecasting, guys. Wish message generator. Wish message generator. Generate is equal to wish message generator of, okay, obj. Are you understanding my statement, guys? Typecasting is done, ra babu, nothing else. Typecast. Okay. Once the typecasting is done, now this generator is ready.
Hey. Oh.
Recording in progress.
My, listen, guys. Provides it provides archetypes as the project templates. Archetype as the project templates. Template. Nothing but ready-made directory structures for projects. Ready-made directory structures for projects, guys. You need not to create project directory structure separately, guys. We have ready-made directory structures provided by archetypes. Even archetypes. Okay, boss. Nearly 1,000+ archetypes are, in fact. Okay, 2,000+ archetypes are available. See, guys, standalone application, it gives one directory structure. Web application, it gives one directory structure. Distributed application, it gives one directory structure. So your life becomes easy now, boss. 2,000+ archetypes are available, but two are very popular. Two are very popular. Though there are so many languages in the world, Java is popular, no such kind of thing. Come on, first one.
create Maven project by selecting Maven icon, archetype icon, quick start as the archetype, quick start as the one, as the archetype for standalone application, as the archetype for standalone application. Create Maven project boss. Don't worry, if that is not there in future, you'll confuse. File new Maven project. File new Maven project. Say next. Here you have to search for the archetype. What is that? Maven iPhone archetype iPhone fix start. Maven iPhone archetype iPhone fix start. Did you notice that, guys? This one, latest version only you try. Yes. Yes. Latest version one. Array, this is a project template, nothing else. Whatever directories are required for developing standalone application, group ID.
అయిందా వాడిది ఏంది ఇది ఏదో ఒకటి ప్రాబ్లం ల్యాప్టాప్ అయితే చెత్తగా ఉంది
Use it to develop any standalone application. File menu, new, Maven, Maven, okay, new Maven project. Say next. Search for Maven iPhone, archetype iPhone, kickstart, then what is next? Here is next, guys. Here is next. Group ID, company name, guys. Generally company name. Okay. Here project name. Project version, guys. Array snapshot means current ongoing on just created kind of thing. Okay. Default package. This is a default package. Default package that comes, guys. Default package that comes. Comfortable, guys? Lastly, finish. project is ready, guys. In Maven, jar file, project, plugin. Plugin means the one that provides additional facilities. Okay, plugin is identified with the three details. Is identified with the three details. A, group ID, nothing but company name. B, next project ID. Sorry. Okay. Artifact ID. Artifact ID. Okay. In case of jar file name, jar or project or plugin name. Plugin file name. See guys, version. Same thing. Jar or project or plugin version. Jar or project or plugin version, guys. Everyone understanding my statement, guys? This is group ID, this is artifact ID, this is version. Come on, guys. That's why we are giving project related group ID, project related artifact ID, version automatically coming, one default package. Look at the directory structure, guys. This is the directory structure, guys. See, I said na SRC main Java will come to place source code and packages. Test.java will come to place what? Unit testing code, guys. Unit testing code. This is the by default Java 7 is coming. You can change it. It will show all jars. By default, Maven giving two jars, guys. Okay, JUnit and other one, fine. Okay, array, this is same folders will be there here. Check it out. SRC main Java. SRC main Java. This is the length. This is the shortcut for this one. SRC test Java. SRC test Java. This is shortcut for this lengthy one. Are you understanding my statement, guys? Kiran Kumar, half knowledge you keep with you, yaar. Spring starter projects are required for Spring Boot environment, Ranayana. That's why I said keep your half knowledge aside, hand over your brain. Huh? Mandi fellow. Spring starter projects are required in Spring Boot environment, not in Spring environment. Okay, this is the problem of half knowledge or quarter knowledge. Right, guys. This is the directory structure that you get by default or not? Yes. See? Okay. How to import company project? Wait for few days, you will know. First, let me develop the project. Funny fellows. Yeah. Gives Maven project having the following directory structure. The following directory structure. Yeah, I said archetypes are project templates. Archetypes are project template. Are you seeing some directory structure is automatically coming, boss? Like this for different projects we can use different archetypes. Archetype is project template. Artifacted in case of project name. In case of jar file name. In case of X file name, Y file name, Z file name. Are you understanding my statement? Artifact means name of the project, name of the jar, name of the plugin. Archetype means project template. Project template. So this is the project directory structure for quick start archetype, guys. What, guys? For quick start archetype. I hope you enjoyed my statement, guys. Fine. Okay. We'll improve all these things when we meet in tomorrow's class. Thank you. Have a nice time. Okay. Yeah, inside these basic directories, we have to create packages and source code. That we do in